So, just going to fly off the cuff a little bit. I'm going to try and keep my cool because we have to be measured and we have to be respectful. But we also have to point out the ludicrousy of decisions. Decisions that are being made in the face of science. In the face of best available science. 3 weeks ago, we released a video. In that video, we said, guard the gate. The spring bear season that has some small regulation changes associated with season lengths, making sure they all line up appropriately. Some change in quota numbers, actually decreasing quota numbers. And that the science proved that a spring bear hunt in the state of Washington had no impact, did not impair the black bear population in the state of Washington. In fact, it probably would sustain it or increase it based on human-wildlife conflict and the lack of depredation needed. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago we said, put your comments in, do what you need to do. As hunters, we all need to stand up together. Well, the antis beat us. Humane Society claims victory. 4-4 commission split on the change of the regulation of a special permit hunt, which is the spring season in Washington state, which means the spring bear season is cancelled. Check the box for Humane Society. So when someone says to me, I do not believe in the death by 1,000 cuts scenario, I'm almost perplexed because there are many, many examples of that happening. And so let's use Washington state as an example. 1995 to 1996, Humane Society made a huge campaign and push and got bear baiting and hound hunting banned in the state of Washington. They won. Cut number 1. For the last 15 years or so, Humane Society have been banging on the door of cancelling bear hunts and of political maneuvering to the governor as well as the Commission of the Wildlife and Fish Department of the state of Washington. This year, a governor has been appointed that have appointed 2 commissioners, Coons and Smith, that essentially come from non-hunting backgrounds. Now, I don't have anything against people that have a non-hunting background. I have an issue with people that don't follow the science that shows that hunting does not have a detriment on wildlife populations, but in fact improves wildlife populations in the state. Box check 2. Now, why a hung vote? 4-4. Well, the commission has one spot that hasn't been filled in the last 18 months from the Eastern Cascades portion of Washington state. The portion of Washington state that probably has the most issues when it comes to predator management. Box 3, checked. Box 4, I don't know if box 4 is a check the box or not. But here's where the rubber meets the road. Science. Science for wildlife management that is driven by the department, that is championed by the director Kelly Suswind, as well as the biologists that dedicate their lives to sustaining resources for their kids and their grandkids one day, saying the hunt is good, and their opinions, their scientific evaluation being ignored. Can you imagine what that feels like? Can you imagine what it feels like for the biologists that have dedicated their entire lives for the commission to say, screw you. That's what you're saying. As a professor training young biologists, I imbued in them this responsibility of the resources for the kids and the grandkids of future generations. The commission, which is driven by politics, not by science, is saying, we don't believe in that. That is mind-blowing to me, and I cannot believe it. In reading one of the articles, this is what made me absolutely cringe. The vice chair, Barbara Baker, of the commission, stated this for her reason why the spring black bear season should not occur. We don't have any other mammals that have a spring bear season. It's like we would have a big buck contest in the spring. Here's a commissioner who knows nothing about deer biology and the fact that bucks lose their antlers. That's the problem. This is the issue here. You have commissioners that have absolutely no idea and are driven by opinions and agendas versus being driven by the biologists that are the stewards of the resources of that specific state. So this is a victory against hunting. This is not a victory for black bears. Because if you know anything, black bears are going to be killed at probably the same rate. There's only 143 bears on quota, which is 0.58% of the population of Washington state, but that's bygones, right? It's actually going to be probably more black bears killed in the spring this year because of depredation. And so the Humane Society and these commissioners that voted no are actually not interested in wildlife conservation. They're just interested in removing hunting. But you see, me, Blood Origins, our Blood Origins family, will not quit fighting. We have to fight for our kids and our grandkids one day, for your kids and your grandkids one day. So get on board, share the message, do your part, because we need everyone on the boat rowing in the same direction.